After years of loyal service, Daniel shielded his employer from a hail of bullets during a brutal ambush. He miraculously survived, but as he rushed home, a chilling void awaited him. His family, caught in a separate attack, was gone. Standing at their graves, he felt like a hollow shell of the man he once was. He had protected his employer, but at the cost of everything that truly mattered. Amidst the pouring rain, Daniel stood with clenched fists, fury igniting a fire in his heart. Driven by an unyielding hunger for vengeance, he retreated to the shadows, preparing to hunt down those who had taken everything from him. At an opulent table, a sinister figure reveled in his triumph, gloating over a photograph of Daniel's family while smoke coiled from his cigar. Meanwhile, Daniel stormed into a crowded nightclub, his eyes ablaze with rage, prepared to confront anyone who dared stand between him and the justice he sought. As fists flew and chaos erupted in the nightclub, Daniel unleashed his fury, striking down anyone who dared challenge him. In a secluded booth, the shadowy figure sipped his drink, a sinister smile playing on his lips, relishing the turmoil that surrounded him. With blood dripping down his face, Daniel towered over a subdued thug, his glare piercing through the dim light as he demanded answers. Meanwhile, the shadowy figure's phone rang, his confident demeanor faltering as he learned that Daniel was closing in on him. In a dimly lit warehouse, Daniel pieced together the puzzle, surrounded by blueprints and photographs that illuminated the shadowy figure's web of betrayal. Meanwhile, tension filled the air in the figure's opulent office, where he paced nervously, the weight of Daniel's determination forcing him to reconsider his next move. With the stealth of a predator, Daniel infiltrated the heavily guarded facility, his focus unwavering as he slipped past unsuspecting guards. Back in his office, the shadowy figure frantically monitored security footage, his anger rising as he realized that the hunter had transformed into the hunted. In the midst of a fierce firefight, Daniel ducked and rolled, dodging bullets with a fierce determination, embodying the spirit of vengeance. Meanwhile, the shadowy figure, with a sinister smile plastered on his face, typed rapidly on his laptop, calling for reinforcements, convinced that victory was still within his reach. With swift precision, Daniel disarmed a guard, seizing the weapon as determination burned in his eyes, preparing for the impending onslaught. Outside, a sleek black SUV roared to a halt, a squad of heavily armed men spilling out, their grim expressions signaling that the fight was far from over. Amidst the smoke and chaos, Daniel strategically took cover behind crates, calculating his next move as the armed men stormed the facility, bullets flying. Back in his office, the shadowy figure watched the scene unfold on a large monitor, his once smug expression giving way to worry as he recognized Daniel's exceptional skill and unwavering tenacity. With unwavering resolve, Daniel lunged from behind cover, launching a surprise attack that took down the armed men with lethal precision. In his opulent office, the shadowy figure slammed his fist onto the desk in frustration, the realization dawning that Daniel was systematically dismantling his meticulously crafted plans. Breathing heavily, Daniel stood triumphantly over the last defeated guard, his eyes scanning the surroundings with fierce intensity, ready for the final showdown. Meanwhile, the shadowy figure, panic creeping into his demeanor, rifled through files in his office, frantically searching for a way to escape as he realized that Daniel was closing in fast. With a fierce determination, Daniel burst into the shadowy figure's opulent office, gun drawn, his eyes ablaze with fury as he demanded answers for the betrayal that had ripped his family away. Cornered at his desk, the shadowy figure maintained a defensive stance, desperation flickering in his eyes as he attempted to negotiate his way out of the impending doom. With unwavering resolve, Daniel aimed his gun straight at the shadowy figure's face, demanding the brutal truth behind his family's tragic demise. Sweat dripped down the shadowy figure's forehead as he struggled to maintain his composure, weaving a lie in a desperate attempt to buy time and search for an escape. With his finger hovering perilously close to the trigger, Daniel's fierce yet tormented expression betrayed his internal struggle between vengeance and the pursuit of justice. Meanwhile, the shadowy figure's hidden panic button lay just beneath the desk, his eyes gleaming with desperation as he readied himself to summon reinforcements. In a moment of intense conflict, Daniel lowered his weapon, searching for the right words to draw the truth from the shadowy figure, battling his own inner demons. Meanwhile, with a calculated move, the figure pressed the panic button, his calm facade barely masking the storm of anxiety brewing within. With a steely gaze, Daniel demanded to know who had orchestrated the attack on his family, closing the distance as palpable tension crackled in the air. Just then, the office door burst open, and armed reinforcements flooded in, their weapons immediately trained on Daniel, escalating the confrontation to a boiling point. Surrounded yet unyielding, Daniel stood his ground defiantly against the armed reinforcements closing in, determination etched deeply across his face. Behind his desk, the shadowy figure smirked triumphantly, reveling in the chaos and savoring the moment he believed had tilted in his favor.